Okay,
Okay.
live stream is on. Now we can begin the roll call.
All right, are we all ready? So I'll be calling out all the 4 members and members in association. So Nepsa, you're early there. But yeah, so just one person from each member organization, please. So Nepsa's already gone. So MAPS India, ISMA Fasi Indonesia, APS Japan. ISMA Fasi Indonesia, are you here? Okay, cool, thank you. My PSA Malaysia, NZIPSO New Zealand, PPHSF Pakistan, FJC PPHA Philippines, KNEPS Republic of Korea, NUSPS Singapore, PSET Thailand, TDTUPO Vietnam. Okay, so I note that we have all 4 members in attendance. So strength of the House is 12 votes, simple majority is 7 votes, and 2/3 is 8 votes. Moving on to members in association, BUPS Bangladesh, DUPC Bangladesh, EPC Bangladesh, ChemPSA Cambodia, PSA Hong Kong. Thank you. IPGASF in India, SAIPSF India, SAIPSF India, are you here? Okay, appears not to be present. BMFFUI Indonesia, BM Kemafau Unpad Indonesia, BM KMFA UGM Indonesia, BMF USD Indonesia, HMF APITV Indonesia, QPSA Kazakhstan, UOPMSU Myanmar, FOP Nepal, FOP Nepal, NPSA Nepal, NPSA Nepal, nope, not present. APSA New Zealand, JPPHA Pi Philippines, UPPHA Philippines, excuse me, PSA Taiwan, PSA Uzbekistan, VNU HCM Pure Vietnam, VNU HCM Pure Vietnam, are we here? Okay, not present. Thank you, roll call completed. I hope the meeting secretaries have that on record. And then back to the chair.
Thank you. I would like to propose the resumption of standing order. Do we have any proposals, seconder? Proposed by BMFFUI Indonesia, seconded by FJCPPHA Philippines. I would like to ask the full members to vote on this procedure motion. I would like to ask the full members to vote on this procedure motion. If you are for this motion, please put a Y in the chat box. Otherwise, please put an N in the chat box. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, with simple majority, this procedure motion to resume the standing order as passed. Let's resume the RA. Can I get the co-host, please? Thank you. Okay, can I get the motion number 58? Can I get motion number 58 on the screen? Motion 58 states the IPSF, the 24th IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Assembly elects the following candidates as a Regional Projects Officer of the IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Office for the year 2022-2023. We have received 2 nominations for this position. I'll be showing you the I'll be showing you the nomination form for Mr. John Moises D. Carter first. Okay, with that, the I would like to pass the floor to Mr. John Moises D. Carter for your speech. John Moises, you have 3 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mabuhay. This is Moises from FJC PPHA Philippines, your current IPSF APRO RMPO 2021 to 2022. Some of you might be wondering why this RMPO is running to become the next RPO. To tell you honestly, I was a leader since my grade school days, but I was never given a chance to spearhead my own projects. This hunger to create projects led me to push to pioneering 2 big projects under RMPO this mandate, despite the limitations of the official document. As someone with great aspirations of leading projects, I would like to advance the portfolio by making it a professional, a progressive, and a providing RPO for IPSF APRO. A professional in terms of the level of content and projects we put out in the regional office. I am envisioning the PH portfolio to become the beacon portfolio for WHO and FIP goals in promoting the profession as an integral part of the healthcare system. With this vision, I am planning to direct the advocacies and campaigns toward the question, how can a pharmacist intervene or help in its promotion, detection, or eradication? Second vision, to make it a progressive. For the past years, we have done a great job in delivering competitions and campaigns with our regional office. However, I think there is still room for improvement when it comes to the continuity of our portfolio. If I will be elected by the 24th RA, I would like to advance the portfolio by first identifying the key turning points of our previous projects. Only after carefully identifying the threats and strengths of our campaigns that we can move forward effectively. We will move forward as one regional office in the post-pandemic situation by encouraging our CPs and MOs to create impactful projects offline and in collaboration with the regional office. Third vision, I am envisioning the portfolio to be providing opportunities for members to grow and develop their pharmaceutical competencies and skills, finding ways on how we can better serve opportunities to the members through high-grade and impactful PD competitions with prizes of internship opportunities and incentives for the member organizations for their accomplishments. I have been with RPO throughout her campaign this mandate. I was with her during her preparation stage until the publication of the materials. I have been working with RPO to ensure the success of all 18 total projects spearheaded this mandate and produce a total of 195 pages of posters, 72 stories, and 2,003 minutes of videos for RPO projects alone. Once again, this is Moises from FGCPPHA Philippines, hoping to be your next IPSF APRO Regional Projects Officer for the mandate of 2022 to 2023. Together, let us make RPO a progressive, a professional, and a providing for IPSF APRO. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Moises, for your speech. Now we have another candidate. The second candidate being Miss Manchari Samwang. This is a nomination form. Okay, with that, I would like to pass the floor to Ms. Manchari Samwang for your speech. You have 3 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night for some of you. I'm Manchari Sangwang. I'm a hardworking pharmacy student specialized in pharmaceutical chemistry. I'm soon to be graduating. So my life goal is to become a scientist and also a science communicator. I'm currently the youngest member of the Thai Young Scientist Academy, working specifically under the outreach and science communication pillar. So because communication is the key, one more thing that we cannot miss is the connection. That's the reason why I applied for the RPO position. My strength isn't just excellent communication skills in Thai, English, and soon Norwegian. I have experiences hosting various international events and projects. I was awarded a Young Thai Science Ambassador in 2017 and also a second runner-up FameLab Thailand Science Communication Competition held by the British Council. I see that the key into the science world is about communication. So one of the topics I talked about was the secondhand drug use. So growing up and raising in Thailand while currently living in Norway, I see that no matter how developed the countries are, there are always room to improve, especially in the pharmaceutical perspectives. So in order to do that, it has to start with implementation. So I'm really, really looking forward to work for the IPSF APRO Focus project. I've been working and collaborating both domestically and internationally. So I was working as a vice president of the Successful Together We Can project with IPSF Thailand. We raised funds for 55 provincial hospitals in Thailand during COVID-19. It was really difficult. We had to switch everything from on-site to online, and we were still able to raise the money. And I was also the collaborator for another project called Face Shield for our fighters, distributing face shields to different hospitals when there were lack of that. So last year, I was also one of the president bidding for the Harvard project for Asian and International Relations 2022. We made it to the final and was invited to visit Harvard University in Boston. But after I arrived there, I realized that why did I travel across the world just to, start something? I am a pharmacy student and I already have IPSF APRO at hand. So I believe that I can contribute my ability to streamline office processes, and I can bring to the organization not only my ideas from the previous experiences, but general passion to just acknowledge the world to the pharmacy. So I'm planning to start a project called A Platform for pharmacy students to show their colors, with the missions of empowering the fellow students to enable them to collectively use their expertise and passion to contribute to the society. And the goal is just to create a network project among the pharmacy students. We think that connection has to be outreach to IPSF, to another organizations, but we have so many pharmacy students that we haven't reached yet, and I believe that they also have the potential. So I'm aimed to build a capacity for pharmacy students and strengthens network of us internationally, bring the members to the highest potential to contribute to the society. So looking forward to work alongside you guys.
Thank you. Okay, now we have heard the speeches from both candidates. I would like to open the floor for discussion. Before I begin, I just would like to remind the assembly that you can only ask non-specific questions that are not directed at any candidates. Candidates shall take turn to answer. So since Moises went first, so just now, so the order is as such: Moises first, followed by Manchari, and then the other way for the next question. Okay. Okay, with that, I would like to open the floor for discussion. For the first point, we have new comments from Franz Matthew Tactaran from UFA Philippines. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. So I am Matthew from UFA Philippines, and I do have a question for both of you. I was wondering what will be the theme of your quote-unquote flagship project if you were to be elected as the next RPO of IPSF APRO? That's it from me.
Thank you, Matthew. For each candidate, you have 1 minute to answer. So Moises first. Moises, 1 minute is yours. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Sher. Thank you, Matthew, for the question. So as said, and as you can see, the motto or the theme that I would like to brand myself as RPO would be a professional, a progressive, and a providing. This will also be the motto or the branding that I will take for my focus project or the main project of the RPO portfolio during my mandate, which is the target is to create projects according to the FIP goals for 2021. So with this FIP goals 2021, this goal is actually created to advance the pharmaceutical practice and the pharmaceutical studies. So given that my motto is a professional, a progressive, and a providing, we can assure that the project or the focus project sustainable development goals or FIP goals would be a pioneering and at the same time will be a flagship project, not only by RPO, but the whole regional office as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Moises. Right now, I'll let the pass the floor to Panchari. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and also thank you, Matthew, for the questions. So I strongly believe that your thoughts mostly create your reality. So think positive, right? Basically, the project I'm thinking about is connecting to the platform and trying to implement it. The thing is, when we have so many pharmacy students, and I have seen some weakness from the pharmacies, APRO, that not every pharmacy student can reach us directly. I was lucky that I saw that, the RWG is accepting members right now, but then how many more pharmacy students that we are missing? And so I would try to work on strengthen the potential of the pharmacy student. After I get a platform of the students, I would like to propose projects that they can propose in rather than us propose the project to them. Because we don't know who have the ideas and we don't know whether they have something hidden that we can work collaborating together. So I will implement from starting the platform. And after that, when we have the exact amount of the pharmacy students, then we can start from there with the project. I, as the RPO, will work very hard to contribute everything.
Very much, Sherry. The 1 minute is up. Thank you. Okay, with that, thank you both. I would like to pass the floor back to Friends Matthew for a new comment. Can you help me clear the speaker list, please? Thank you. Friends, the floor is yours once again.
Thank you, Chair, again. So I do have another question. So I would like both of you to highlight one previous experience that you believe has provided you with a lesson or a skill that will help you in managing all profiles that you will be handling if you were to be elected as the next RPO of IPSF APRO. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Since Moises went first, Manchari shall be the first for this question. Manchari, 1 minute is yours.
Thank you, Matthew, for the question again, and thank you, Mr. Chairperson. I have lots of experience in various kinds of expertise. First, I was working, with a documentary and working as a project manager to allow the team to record the video about the mobility doctors, and we won the prize in Thailand, first in the country. And then I also working as a fixer for the ABC News, working under Disney Channel, helping them to broadcast the news together. And with other projects, I was also working as a staff for the One Young World Conference. And also the final bidder for the H-Pair Harvard project was amazingly taught me how to become a patient person. And also winning takes time. And because you lose once doesn't mean that you are not going to win later. So that's what the experience I would like to share.
Thank you. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would say the biggest strength I have right now or experience would probably, I was with the IPSF APRO ever since the start of my bachelor's degree. Ever since first year, I was with IPSF APRO. With this, I was able to be official delegate to the World Health Assembly, a PH portfolio by IPSF. I've also participated in competitions such as the PE portfolio competition on essay and comic poster. I was also part and won competition in PD, like the patient counseling competition, and as well as the first APHC or Asia Pacific Health Challenge, which I won first runner-up together with my team. So with these experiences, I could say that I have the lens of a participant, and as an elected RMPO and a selected member of RWG, I have the lens of an officer who is efficient and effective when it comes to internal workflow. So if I will be elected, it will be a good chance for the incoming RPO team to ensure efficiency. Thank you.
Moises, 1 minute is up. Thank you. Okay, I would like to now pass the floor to Observer. I believe it's Alan. Alan, Observer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Alan, Observer from Malaysia. Thank you both for your presentation, for your nominations. My question to both of you is this. So as you know, IPSF APRO reaches about 70,000 pharmacy students and recent pharmacy graduates across the region. But I believe that one of the biggest challenges is that sometimes our projects only target a very small sample population from them. So with that in mind, I would like to understand your strategy or your plan to engage the average pharmacy student in the Asia Pacific region that may not have heard anything or might be apathetic towards APRO in general. How will you plan to actually approach these pharmacy students on the grassroots levels? If there is any need for clarification, you can let me. Then, but other than that, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Alan, Observer, for the question. I would now like to pass the floor to Moises to answer first. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As RMPO this mandate, I came to realize that the key to increase engagements and involvements, especially those who do not know IPSF APRO, is through the collaborative effort of the RWG. I will work with RRO and the chairperson in ensuring that we have professional partners with the same objective as us. After a few months as RMPO, I've observed that APRO members are keen to join competitions and webinars hosted by APRO in collaboration with other professional and established organizations. If we cater for this need for professionalism and credibility with our projects, we can ensure an increase in participation. Second, I will work with RMPO in ensuring that the posters and videos we put out at what our audience need and want. We should start recalibrating our view towards our approach. We are a pharmaceutical organization, therefore our publications must cater more to the needs of pharmacy students. When we provide what our members need, we can ensure increased engagement as they will be reading and interacting with what we put out on our social media. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Moises. And I would like to pass the floor to Menchari. Menchari, the floor is yours.
Thank you for your question, Adam. So the thing is, let's look at the pharmacy student as our customers. When we think of customers, we know that they are loyal customers who always come back and buy your products, right? But how do we reach the new customers? So basically, what I'm trying to say is that in order for them to do that, isn't just, they walk into our store and just like look for the products, right? Our aim is just to encourage people to join us. First of all, I would like to start with the email list. Usually we sign up for so many things and we get all the junk mails in our mails, and we never thought that, wait, why would I need to know these junk mail? I just sign up for just referral code or discount or something. But starting with that, we can encourage all the 70,000 pharmacy students to at least acknowledge what APRO is going to do. So when they see something that is collaborating with their thoughts, their ideas, or their expertise, maybe they would join us. And also, I was thinking about encouraging the reviews. We have starting with the page and all the websites and stuff, but we haven't had something that they can always come back to the APRO, because we're changing it a lot every year with the teams and stuff, but we haven't have encouraged reviews yet.
1 minute is up. Sorry, thank you. Okay. I understand that there is a direct on a speaker note, so I think we have to take it off since we can't identify the direct. So we'll move on with the new comment. Thank you. Let me clear the one observer in the speaker list. Okay, thank you. I believe the next observer is Alan as well. Alan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. All right. My second question to you is, so RPO conducts many products under the three disciplines that he or she takes care of, which is public health, pharmacy education, as well as professional development. And it's usually, and with the number of projects each year getting more and more diverse, I will say that there's always a challenge in ensuring that each project is effective and is able to achieve its goal. So I'd like to understand from you, what do you think is the key aspect, the key factor in ensuring that you are able to direct and manage these many projects under APRO to achieve their goals? That will be my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. 1 minute each. Manchari first. Manchari, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alan, again for the question, and Mr. Chairperson. I basically think that three pillars that we have to focus on. First is that we have to empower the pharmacy student. And as an APRO, they already have the policy recommendation, and also, the RPO is one of the position that we're going to outreach and reach the people. But the opportunities and the project that we are trying to work together is in order to address the local and national and global challenges. So basically, we have to build the capacities and strengthen the network. And also, we have to become a neutral trust resource for all the pharmacy students. And therefore, that's the focus for me as an RPO and working alongside with the other officers.
Thank you. I would like to now pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Alan, I agree with you that we have so many projects in the RPO, and it's vital for us to determine how we could make this all effective. It is important for us as project team as well to determine our KPI to better direct our goals. For my KPI, I'm planning, if I would share, I am planning to establish at least one PH campaign, one PE webinar, and one PD competition quarterly. This is just a minimum. This is to give equal opportunities for our projects, and at the same time, to give way for the members to fully grasp the idea of each portfolio. And the second strategy would be our members, our coordinators, and our subcommittee members. It is important for us to appoint and to select proper members who are effective, responsible, and consistent with their work. Without these members, I don't think APRO could create a project under its regional office. So to summarize it all, there are two strategies. One is determining KPI, and second is knowing and understanding your members. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Moises. Right now, I would like to pass the floor to Ms. Vinaya Tanata from HMF APITB Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Vinaya from HMF APITB Indonesia. So I was wondering if the nominees are currently taking or planning on taking any important roles in other organizations or events, and if so, how would you be able to manage your time with those other than your role as an RPO? Thank you.
Thank you, Vinaya. I would like, since Manchari answered first, I would like to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. According to the official document of IPSF, an RWG is highly discouraged to run for another position or to hold any position other than the RWG position that he or she is currently holding. With this, I am currently an RMPO, and I can assure you that I do not have any incoming responsibilities from other organizations, as my full responsibility is toward IPSF APRO and ending my mandate as an RMPO. The only thing I have right now at my hand would be me as a pharmacy student, as a third-year pharmacy student. So with regards to if I have any organization, I do not have any incoming organization. If I will be elected, IPSF APRO will be my priority, at the same time, my academic responsibilities. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
Thank you for your question. I would like to say that I'm currently taking a gap year. And you guys probably think that, wow, as a pharmacy student, why are you taking a gap year? I have been studying for 5 years, and I see that in order to, become some things, I realized that you have to take a break. And pharmacy student is, oh my God, it's so crazy and like probably the most tense, time of my life. And now I'm so happy. I'm in Norway, living in the, most happy country in the world, and I'm so relaxed. So if I get selected to be the RPO, you would get the most relaxed person as your RPO, and I would totally dedicate my time to you because I don't have anything else to do. Also, I'm also another member of like other organizations, but I'm helping as part because I haven't graduated I haven't graduated, and I have also the affiliated member. So pretty much right now, I'm free for you all, and I'm really looking forward to work this job.
Thank you. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to, I believe, Farah, observer. Farah, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for the floor. I'm Farah from Indonesia as an observer. First of all, I would like to thank Moises and Manjari for coming forward as the RPO nominee and presenting your speech. My question would be, how will you use your previous experiences in IPSF for your work as an RPO during your mandate? Thank you and good luck.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Thank you, Farah, for the question. I would now like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
I would like to say bless you, Chairperson, and I would like to start with my experience. So the previous experience I have with IPSF is that first I start attending the APPS in Japan, and I see lots of good things and lots of things I would like to improve. So I'm also a chairperson of the upcoming bidding team Thailand APPS 2024. So if you see me now, you'll see me again in another bidding. So my first experience with IPSF, I have, working as a subcommittee for the RMPO. So I was supposed to be Moises, staff. And also after working, with lots of things, I realized that I would like to put my potential from the outside experience into the APRO. That's why I applied. Thank you.
Thank you, Manchari. I want to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So there is a hidden code, hidden name in the RWG that the partner of RMPO is actually the RPO, because most of the projects, if not all of the projects, are done in collaboration with RPO and RMPO. I have been with RPO throughout her mandate, and I was with her during her preparation stage until the publication of her materials. With this at hand, I would say that there will be less lagging time or less preparation when it comes to handing over and turning over from the mandate of 2021 to 2022 to 2022 to 2023. This mandate, we had a hard time, fixing the internal workflow, as some of the members are actually new to IPSF APRO. And I have seen that experience in IPSF APRO greatly helps in maintaining the efficiency and effectivity of the project. So as a current RMPO, and if I will be elected as the previous RMPO, I will use this internal workflow knowledge and skills to make the projects efficient and effective. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to pass the floor to Paul, IPSF Chairperson of External Relations. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Chair. Paul, Chairperson of External Relations from EXCO. Thank you very much to both candidates for your respective nominations. So it's well known within IPSF APRO that we are only the IPSF regional office that hosts two WHO regional offices. So that's CRO and WIPRO as well. So respectively, that's Southeast Asia and also within the Western Pacific, where we usually provide organizational statements and attend the regional committee meetings. So although as of now, we are not collaborating with these two WHO regional offices for the past or within the current mandate. So my question is, what specific projects do you have in mind where IPSF APRO can collaborate with WHO CRO or with WIPRO for the next upcoming mandate? Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for those questions. I would like to now pass the floor to Moises first. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Paul, for the question. Actually, for this year, if you would see my nomination form, the focus project leans toward more on the FIP, not on WHO. This is because the WHO and its goals and objectives will be integrated to the PH portfolio or the campaigns and advocacies we put out with public health. I am planning to use the materials provided by WHO to better cater the pharmacy students and their needs in advocating certain public health. But collaborate as RPO, it is also my responsibility to help the secretary in ensuring that the policy paper is well written. So there is certain part in the policy paper wherein we need an input from the RPO. So as the incoming RPO, if I will be elected, I am planning to collaborate with both the secretary and chairperson in creating an impactful policy paper for Zero and WIPRO. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
So I still focus on something called the policy recommendation. But this one, I would like to focus more on the pharmacy students. The project I try to implement with the WHO or UN or anything is about the mental health of the pharmacy students. We have known that, when you study medical professions, it's always stressful, and never of us that we was counted as a person rather than a machine to study. And I would like to see more that pharmacy students are something outside of this too. Every pharmacy student have their other profession, other expertise that could bring about to the society and provide more to the pharmacy rather than just their knowledge toward, the science world. So my proposal is that, the WHO should recommend that students shouldn't be more stressful on their knowledge or their studies, but some countries like Asia, they force students to study all the time, 8 hours a day, more than that. And that is more important. The mental health is something I would like to focus on and recommend it.
Thank you. Okay, right now I'd like to pass the floor to observer. I believe it's Kimi HLM. The floor is yours.
Thank you, TK, and thank you both candidates. So my question is very general because as an RPO and I has been served the organization as an RPO as well. I think RPO has respond a lot of, pillars and also activity and campaigns. I would like to ask for you, will you focus on quality or quantity more? As we have a lot of things that we need to responsible to each of the portfolio, but how will you balance yourself and your work? And okay, so the question is between quality or quantity, and which is the key success on the choice that you choose? Thank you.
Thank you, Kimi, for the question. I would now like to pass the floor to Manchari first. Manchari, the floor is yours.
I would say that both quality and quantity are needed. When you are selling stuff or when you are trying to promote something, it's the greatest that you can reach as many people as possible. But then later on, you have to see how many people come back to us, like a satisfied pharmacy student who are happy with our work. I see that the KPI could also be an indicator, but what I'm thinking about is the surveys that what our work can improve can also reflect back to us. So quality is definitely the best thing that we will provide earlier to prevent the problem, but quantity is something that we can look forward after to see the process and the outcome of our quality. If it's not good enough, next time we improve the quality and then the quantity will increase. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question as well, Kimi. I would answer you. I would be going for quality over quantity. It's because I've said, as previously mentioned during my speech, we have so many projects in regional office, but we lack continuity with these projects. We have so many projects. Our previous RPOs tend to create more projects that are different from the previous RPO. With this, I have seen for the past 3 years, 2 years, that we have so many PH campaigns that some of those campaigns are not getting or not being effective anymore, since people or social media users are not even scrolling it anymore. What we can do is, again, my second vision, to make it a progressive, we should start evaluating the previous projects and adapt what we can adapt and remove what we can remove. So it's always quality over quantity for me. Thank you, Kimi. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you both. Okay, I would like to pass the floor to Ms. Faris and Dini Fatiniyas from ISMA Fasik Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor. I'm Andini from ISMA Farsi Indonesia, and I would just like to ask both of the candidates, do you think that there is, among the 3 portfolios that RPO will be handling, do you think that there is maybe one certain portfolio that is needed to be more focused on and developed more in April? And if yes, can you tell me what it is and why?
Thank you. I would like to pass the floor to Moises first. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the question as well. I believe that we should not be biased with any portfolio, but that this bias, and it doesn't mean that we will not be putting focus on one specific, or we will not be elevating. I will not be biased with any portfolio, but I would say that I would elevate the PE portfolio as as observed in this mandate. Well, we have so many engagements with PH campaigns. We have so many participants for regional competitions, but we have low engagement when it comes to research competitions and literature review. This is maybe because this portfolio may seen as an intelligent type or for those only intelligent. So as the incoming RPO, if I will be elected, I'm planning to make the PE more approachable or more accessible for APRO members so that they will be enticed to join PE competitions and PE webinars. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
Since it's our profession, I do think that the pharmacy education or the pharmacy education portfolio is the main focus that I would like to pass on first, because it's our profession, and without our pharmacy knowledge and everything, we would probably be not trusted by anyone else. If we claim we are pharmacy student, but we don't know anything. So I'm trying to first focus on the pharmacy education. The main we could have all the competitions, the poster competition that is held during the IPSF World Congress and also at the APPS. And I would like to encourage the research though, because in Asia Pacific, the research part has different style that I would like to collaborate the European style altogether, because, researching is something that we are doing as our job, no matter who you are, the clinical pharmacist or the industrial pharmacist, and also internships that I would like to propose. So something like your pharmacy education and the professional development will be what I'm focusing on.
Right, thank you both. Looks like there is another lost soul who wrote a direct as observer. Since there's nobody claiming the direct, it's okay. And we will drop it. So can I get back the new? Thank you. I believe the next observer is Kimmy. Kimmy, the floor is Kimmy Sharm, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, TK. Another easy question. Because you guys has answered a lot of questions before, so I would like you to highlight a very new project that you would like to introduce to APRO. Consider a new one in either of any portfolio that you want to introduce to us. Any highlight project, just one. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimmy. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
As I see that IPSF APRO, we have our Facebook and we have Instagram, but then one thing that we are missing is actually the website. So we also have the IPSF, website, but we don't have the one specifically for us. And as I try to say, I would like to initiate and implement a platform for the pharmacy students. This is like a Facebook to us. We know that you are a pharmacy student, but we don't know anything else about you guys. So the project is to bring about, all the pharmacy students together, and then they could show their expertise. And in the future, sometimes you need help with your homework, but then you aren't, so brave enough to ask your friend, but maybe someone in the Philippines or someone in, Malaysia could help you with. And that is actually a shared knowledge altogether. So something called like pharmacy Facebook, but that will be what bring us together, and we can start so many projects from there.
Thank you, Manchari. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Kimmy, for the question. One thing I would like to highlight of all the projects that you want to pioneer in RPO would be the RX Public Health Campaign, a pharmacology discussion. So this will be a webinar, or this will be a public health webinar. So in this webinar, we will be refreshing with the pharmacology or the modes of administration, with how this drug works, or basically, or the pharmacology of the specific drug that is related to specific public health campaign that we are advocating for that specific day. So I think that this is a good project, and pioneering this will be effective for IPSF APRO because we are students. Basically, as students, we should refreshen our minds with the necessary knowledge and information as medicine experts of the future. So yeah, I would like to pioneer the RX Public Health Campaign, a pharmacology discussion for pharmacy students and recent graduates as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to, I believe, Ellen, observer. Please tell me to clear the speaker list. The last observer, actually. Yeah, Ellen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. This is Alan, observer from Malaysia. Hopefully your your last question for the open discussion. This will be the question. I believe that the RPO portfolio this year has suffered a lot from attrition, where many coordinators and subcommittees have either burnt out or have become inactive due to various commitments both in their personal life and as a pharmacy student. So I'd like to understand from you, what is your strategy to actually assist your coordinators and subcommittees under you to ensure that you have a team that is able to function? Because I believe most of you have said that you would like to, you will need a lot of help from your coordinators and committees. So, but you can't do that if they're not actually going to work for you, if they're not actually working. So I would like to understand your strategy in actually maintaining your team throughout the mandate. Is that clear? Is the question clear? Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. I believe the question is clear. So, okay, I would like to pass the floor to Moises. Moises, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Alan, for the question. So this is also a problem during my mandate as a RMPO. Managing 40 members from 4 subcommittees, it was hard but manageable through effective micromanaging and macromanaging your team members. First, know the work ethics and character of your members. I will deploy the IC test and MBTI personality test prior to the start of their full work. Through this strategy, we can better understand how we will work with our members and how we can be considerate towards their working style. After all, we cannot force others to work the same with our style. Second, know their busiest times like exams and academic responsibilities or academic workloads. In this way, we can assure that the members will not be overworked on their busiest days, which is one of the major factors as to why leaders tend to quit their work. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to pass the floor to Manchari. Manchari, the floor is yours.
The keyword was there with the burnout, and I also was focusing on the mental health problem, right? In order for us to work, I have seen that you have 5 positions in the RWG all the time, but probably because you have been 5 all along and that lots of works, maybe I could propose something, consider another position. I know that we already have the committees for each position, but if we think about having more person to help in other way, maybe it could also regulate all the works and stuff. But there, with the burnout, I'm thinking about the work-life balance. If you ask my APPS team, I never have a meeting more than 1 hour, just because long time doesn't mean it's efficient. You have to finish it in 1 hour or else never again. And then next time you just bring topics that hasn't been finished. So that's just my motto. Work-life balance and life is happy and healthy. So that's for me.
Thank you, Manchari. I'd like to ask the assembly if there are any new comments. Is there any new comments for the open discussion? Please put them in a speaker list right now. Okay, I'll wait for another maybe 10 seconds for you guys to put things in the speaker list. Okay, I see that there's no other persons putting things in the speaker list. I would like to proceed to close the open discussion and proceed to close discussion. Can we